Hello friends and family! I'm making this video because I'm currently raising money through a program called the Band Factory, which is presented by LVGR, Lehigh Valley Girls Rock, which is an organization that I've participated in faithfully for the past 6 years. And perhaps I just wanted to give you some information because maybe you don't know why you should donate or why it's important. So I'm going to do a couple videos, but I wanted to start with my story and why this organization is important to me. I feel that in my adult life, there are a few experiences that have truly made me a better person, that have shaped the person that I am today. So I'm letting you all know that if you like the person that I am today, if I am right now, you like Lehigh Valley Girls Rock. I think I owe a lot of it to that. So I just want to tell a little bit about myself. If you knew me in high school or as a child, I was very shy and very quiet and very anxious. And that's because I believed that my voice did not matter. I believed that no one cared what I had to say, that it wasn't important. And, I've had a few experiences over time as I've gotten older that have changed that. Thank goodness. Some of those are graduate school, participating in Leadership, which was a program at college, but the main one that I can think of is Lehigh Valley Girls Rock. And the thing that makes that program maybe more important or more special than some of the other ones that have changed me is that it lasts. It doesn't have a finite timeline on it. Like grad school was 4 years. Leadership was 1 week. College was 4 years. We're now on year 6 of LVGR. And it's a summer program, right? It's 1 week during the summer, but we do things throughout the year too. So my involvement with this organization has gone over a 6-year period of time, throughout the year. And the other thing that makes this better and that makes it different is that it doesn't just empower me, it empowers others. The program is primarily focused on empowering youth. It's about youth, but we find as volunteers that we walk out of the program, we feel empowered. We feel like we can make a difference. We feel changed. So that's what this is about. This is about how I have felt changed through participating in this project. And just my musical background. So I started out in elementary school playing classical viola. And for a long time, that was the only thing that I did. I sung in church choir and stuff, but for most of that time, up until college, music was just another aspect of my perfectionism. I didn't want to be seen by the world unless I was perfect. I was afraid to show myself unless I was perfect. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I didn't want to do the wrong thing. So I would try to hide, try to not, be visible at all unless I could see or be perfect. So in classical music, I found kind of reinforced that whole idea. You had to play the piece exactly the way the composer envisioned it. You had to follow the instructions exactly. In order to play in the best groups, you had to be obsessed. You had to practice all the time. You had to not have a life outside of it. So it's very stifling and it's very elite. And it was a way that I felt special. I didn't feel good about myself, but being involved in it made me feel special. So, I could say oh, I play classical viola. I just learned this Mozart piece. You can't do that, right? So it was a way for me to be perfect and for me to feel special. So then kind of over time, I started to pick this apart and learn more about myself and start to become more true to myself. And that started in college. I joined the Celtic ensemble and I started to learn folk music, and that was a breath of fresh air because it wasn't about being perfect. It was about preserving a tradition and about having fun with a group of people. So I didn't have to feel like I had to practice all the time. I didn't have to feel like I could be perfect. I could go to those rehearsals and I went to rehearsals all the time in college. I mean, I was a music major, but that's when I could relax. That's when I could enjoy myself, was when I was playing folk music. So then from there, I started to learn improvisation. We had an improvisation class my junior year of college, and then I moved into the music therapy program in graduate school, and music therapy is a lot of improvisation, very heavily based on improvisation. So I was very uncomfortable with it first because I played classical music. Everything was very specifically written out for me. And then I learned this philosophy that there are no wrong notes. I participated in this program called Music for People, and that's what they would say. They would say, no wrong notes, just play. Just play. So to kind of go off of that, at Girls Rock, our motto is no sorries. So you're playing, you're learning, you're expressing yourself. If you mess up, don't apologize because you're learning. And people mess up when they're learning. People mess up because they're people. And we really emphasize that. So at any rate, I heard about LVGR through a friend that I went to college with the first year in 2014. I had just graduated from graduate school, and I was reading about it. I was seeing her post. It looked really fun. It looked great, but I didn't feel like I was a good fit for it. I didn't feel like I would be good enough for it. If you're looking at the theme of this video, being good enough. Because I was an acoustic player. I didn't know anything about rock and roll music other than the fact that I love to listen to it. I don't know the equipment. I didn't know specific techniques. I didn't know, anything. But a voice in my head, which I am so thankful that I decided to listen to, said, why don't you just try it? And I signed up, and I filled out the form, told them I had lots of experience working with children because I was a music therapist. They were so excited to see that I was a music therapist and that I had that relevant experience working with children and music that I could bring to the table. And I came in and volunteered my first year, and it was amazing. I'm getting goosebumps talking about this because it was amazing. By the end of that week, felt like a different person. It was okay that I didn't know everything about rock music or anything about rock music. It was okay that I was an acoustic player. It was okay that I didn't know the equipment. It was a safe environment to learn about it. And that first year, actually, when I was coaching my first band, I was using a lot of the stuff I knew from playing in string quartets to sort of enrich my knowledge. I didn't know anything about playing in rock bands, but I knew about playing music in groups of people. So I used what I had, and it worked, and it was beautiful. And, the year after that, we started a program called Ladies Rock, which we now call Let's Rock Camp, to be more gender inclusive. And that's a camp for the adults. That's a weekend. And they asked me to teach bass, which is an instrument that at the time I had never really played. But they told me it's just like guitar. It's the same 4 bottom strings. You're just teaching basics, it'll be fine. So I went to the library, got a book out, learned some stuff about the basics of playing bass, and taught it. And they've been asking me to come back and teach bass ever since, because apparently, it went really well. And that's the great thing about this group is I'm like building self-confidence doing things that I didn't know I could do. You know, I didn't even know it was an option. And I taught bass for the campers this past summer. And I was joking. They gave me the Bass Master Award, I think it was called, for putting out solid basses. Like every student I taught this year had a really good grasp of their instrument and was really rocking it on stage. They were so good. And I joked when I received this award, like, I don't even play this instrument. And someone said, I think you do, you just don't play it regularly. So here I am learning new skills and becoming confident and like getting really good at things that I never thought that I would be able to do. And, you know, just talking more about things that I've learned about myself through LVGR. This is getting really long. I hope you guys are still watching. I learned that I can write good songs. I always wanted to be a songwriter. I kept notebooks in high school. I would write down lyric ideas, but I was never able to really put it into anything because I didn't want to have a finished product until it could be perfect, right? Going back into that perfectionist thing, I didn't want to have a song until it could be perfect. And participating in Let's Rock Camp and last year's Band Factory really pushed me to finish some songs. So like I wrote music and lyrics, Let's Rock 2015 to one song. And I wrote music and lyrics to 3 songs last year on our Band Factory band. And they're great songs. I'll link them below. They're really good songs. And if I didn't have the sort of like time pressure of these programs, I don't think I ever would have put them out. And it makes me want to put more stuff out because I see that I can, and I see that it's good, and I see that people like it. Which may be the most important takeaway of this whole thing is that I have found that because I have participated in LVGR, I am a stronger person, I am a bolder person, I am a braver person, I am a more confident person because participating it has empowered me in my voice. And I mean that in both a figurative way and a literal way. It has empowered me as a singer as well. I've learned that my favorite instrument is my singing voice. And I play several things for music therapy and for other things. Like my favorite instrument is my singing voice. And I was really able to shine through that during Let's Rock Camp in 2016. I wrote this really powerful song, and again, I'll link that below. And I sang it in front of everybody, and the other people who were in my band, you know, they mentioned, like, at first I was really quiet and not sure of my ideas, and I was singing in the mic, and I was really quiet, and then by the end of the weekend, it was a weekend, it was 3 days, I was belting this song out for everybody to hear, and it had this really powerful message about being yourself and being confident and doing what is right for you. And everyone I showed this video to was like, wow. They could not believe that that was me. So, you know, it's LVGR for you. That's what it does for people. And actually, maybe, I don't know, a week or 2 later, I actually got a promotion at work. And some friends asked me, do you think that this is related to your experience at Let's Rock Camp? And yes, 1000%. Absolutely, I think it's related. I think it directly impacted my confidence. I think it directly impacted the way I show up in the world. This is the kind of difference that these programs make in people's lives. So if it's doing this for me as an adult, I only wish, I mean, I'm thankful to have it now. I am very thankful to have it now, but I only wish as a child, when I was so shy and timid and afraid of being seen and heard, that I could have had something like this, because I can only imagine, like, I'd be so much farther on my journey if I had had that. And I've seen some kids grow exponentially in 6 years. But I want to talk more about that in another video. This video was just my story. I encourage you, if this was touching to you at all, to send $5, $10, $3, whatever you can afford, to Lehigh Valley Girls Rock through my link for the Band Factory. And the Band Factory is basically the volunteers, we got together and we're forming bands. And we're doing fundraising, kind of like someone might do for a walk for cancer, or like a marathon or something, you know how you get sponsors. We're doing that, but instead of having a walk or a marathon, we're going to play a concert. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I would love your sponsorship. If you like who I am today, I certainly do. I encourage you to put even just a couple dollars towards our link. I'll put it below. Our band is the Frizzy Felines. We're going to be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support throughout the years.